Good afternoon. My name is Jerome Deering Bay, and I'm Executive Director of Right to Wrong in Illegal Sentencing in the United States. So our purpose here today is to put forth some insight into why the current administration hasn't been articulating their reasoning for not putting forth any legislation to reduce the sentencing for nonviolent offenders. Now, a lot of y'all have family out there that's either on supervised release or on prison on the way to re-enter their communities and their society at large. So we want to try to help get that process started. With me, I have my cousin Chuck Bruton, who's with Rich Moines Production, and Robert Pate, who is with Image for Lives. And both of them brothers have done a lot of work in that area and can speak to probably it more prolifically than I can as it relates to the lack of discussion for supervised release, when in fact, the United States Sentencing Commission, who is a branch of the federal government and who was appointed to create sentencing guidelines and amendments to those guidelines to bring forth some diversity in that practice. Excuse me. But over the years, and being involved with the judicial system for as long as I've been involved with them, as long as Chuck been involved with them, as long as Robert has been involved with them, we haven't seen any real consideration given to nonviolent offenders. And that entails exactly what it entails, and that is nonviolent offenders. And even a lot of nonviolent offenders serve a lot of time on supervised release. And supervised release can be a very tough hurdle to get over if, in fact, you have an individual that's your supervised release officer or probation officer, whatever you want to call her, is not working in lockstep with you to aid and assist you in making that reentry process more conducive to your welfare and your well-being. Now, I say that because of this here. Like I said, the current administration. Now, the current administration, truth manifests itself, the current administration has released a lot of people from prison who had a status in this society that was incumbent upon finances, political connections, and things of that nature. Now, most people in prison, that's only 1% of the prison population, or 1% of the people that are serving supervised release terms. It doesn't say in the statute, and it doesn't say in the United States Sentencing Commission amendment that was just passed in 2025, that there should be a distinction between the rich and the poor. Nor does it say it anywhere else. The Bible, the Quran, or anywhere else does it say that there's a distinction amongst people, that one should be treated unequal and the other one should be treated equal to the higher up. So my demonstration is to ensure that you have some background to how these systems are developed. And you can go all the way back to 1700s and you understand how these systems were developed. And they progress slowly but surely. And the only difference being is the political cronies was able to extract finances from people who was looking for liberty, freedom, justice, and the supervised release motion that was just passed in 2025, it provides a court to grant a person who is a nonviolent offender, may never have been in trouble before, some discretion they give him a reduced or her a reduced term on supervised release because, as was brought to my attention just before we come on air, when you come back out here in so-called free society, you're looking for some aid and assistance so that you can be successful during this process. A lot of our young men and women fall short for the simple reason they're not getting the type of success that they need. It'd be a different thing if they was multi-millionaires or somebody like that there, but they're not. They got to come back out here. They got to look to the PO officer. They got to look to the churches. They got to look to other community resources in order to build up their status so that they can get better jobs, better homes, better automobiles, take care of their family, So that's what supervised release is all about. It's designed to put overseer, draw off the word, overseer in place to ensure that you can make it. It's not designed for that overseer because he may not like the way you wear your pants, or he may not like the way you comb your hair, or the fact that you might be into this, you might be into that. Just send you back to prison as long as you're not breaking any laws, state or federal, here in America. And I might have jumped around a little bit, so I'm going to go back. Like I said, the current administration has done everything in their power to reduce sentencing and supervised release for individuals who are politically connected or have finances in order to support a particular campaign or an administration to achieve their result. But that's few and far between. And a lot of people sit in prison waiting for their day to benefit from the amenities that come about with the advent of amendments that are designed to do that for not just the rich, but for all people. But we have a tendency to overlook that. And again, I'm not just going to fault the people that are in a position to make that decision, because a decision is made based upon a person's discretion. So there could be a lot of other elements that come into play based upon that discretion. We don't know personally. We don't know the judges who are being appointed to these seats. We don't know the members of the United States Sentencing Commission who are designing these amendments. We don't know the legislators and the political cronies that are appointed to office that are making these decisions to as far as the law is concerned. But again, like I said, I don't want to just place blame solely there. Rich Warren's production, Image for Lives, and to right the wrong, illegal wrongs, is purposely designed to provide information so that people in the community that have the wherewithal to cast a vote can look at these individuals that are running for office and say, based upon their record, the same record they use against you, the same record that they utilize to say you're a criminal. They tag you as a criminal all your life. So that prohibits you from being able to achieve the result that you wanted to achieve prior to walking out them prison doors and coming out on supervised release. You may not see it at that point in time, but trust me, it's there. And we want to eliminate that factor. And it's a factor in the decision. And if you read the statutes, 18 USC 3553A, they have 6 factors in there. And the court is supposed to consider every one of those factors individually. He can't just brand you as you're going to be a criminal for the rest of your life. That can't happen like that. But that happens in our society. And it happens because, unfortunately, being under the thumb of this current administration, we are being distracted about things that are relevant to our community. And so, unfortunately, we have organizations within our community. Some of them have the wherewithal to have the knowledge, or the sufficiency of knowledge, I should say, to understand what is going on here. But a lot of them have insufficiency of knowledge, just like you and I. Me and you have insufficiency of knowledge. I don't know everything, but I can demonstrate a measure to get you to understand and change your way of thinking. Now, in close, I would say this here. We have the two-term election getting ready to come up. So that means that members of the House of Representatives will be elected to office. And then you got your state representatives who will be elected to office. And it doesn't take nothing but 10, 15 minutes to go online, peep who the individual is, male or female, and what his policies and proposals are. How come he ain't been talking about reducing the supervised release demonstration? Excuse me for stumbling. But how come they're not talking about that? And the reason why they're not talking about that is because it's good to be the king. So those legislators that are in office now and who will come into office are new, they don't want to rock the boat. I know you heard that before. They don't want to rock it. So they're not going to talk about things that are conducive to the community at large. In other words, they're not doing nothing for the community. They're not doing nothing for the voter. You know, first thing when you go into somebody's office, they look at your record, pull you up on the computer. They say, "Oh, you're a criminal. You're gonna always be a criminal." Well, if I'm a criminal, how did I get out of prison? I might have suffered and done all my time, but how did I get out? Now I'm on supervised release. And supervised release is an apparatus of prison. So this apparatus is there to aid and assist me in the struggles of life. And with that being said, pay attention to what's going on around you. I know everybody's distracted with Ukraine, with what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in Venezuela right now. But some of our most profound criminals are in a position to achieve their results. Why? The people that they label a criminal, you got a tag on your back or the red X on your door. I know a lot of y'all don't remember that part of it. When they labeled you something that you wasn't, just because you committed an error in life, doesn't make you a criminal. You might be the most perfect person. You might ascend to the highest height, but you got to have some help. And unfortunately, in my opinion, just my opinion, we're not getting that help because we're not paying attention. We done fell asleep at the wheel. Ain't nothing easy out here, man. Everybody out here struggling right now, except for the rich. Everybody else is suffering. So it's hard out here. And we don't want to see you young men and you young women come back out here and suffer the same fate that you suffered prior to going to prison the last time. We don't want to see that. We want to see you grow apace. Understand that word. Grow apace. We want to see you grow and unfold so that you're taking care of your community, you're taking care of your family, you're aiding and assisting those who are aiding and assisting you. In the right light. Yeah, there was a time in my life that I never thought I would say that. But I learned my lesson well. And that's what you have to do. It ain't about picking up that sack, picking up that pistol. It ain't about running down the street, shooting up the neighborhood. It ain't about that, man. For real. You ain't getting no money. You ain't getting no money. And I had a person tell me one time, I'm sorry for going on, rambling. I had a person tell me one time, he said, "Man, you out here selling, these twos and fews. Man, you might as well just run on up into what's your name and get you a couple $100,000. And as I sat in that prison for 25 plus 15 years, that's what I'm going to sit down for. With the peace and blessings of God, I want to bid you adieu. And we'll see you the next time we come on. Peace.